I've been playing The Headliners, which is the latest in 3D Lethal Company likes. Let's put it that way. You play as a team of photojournalists. The world has been invaded by aliens, and we've lost the battle. It's basically all over, but there's a news outlet still left trying to report on how the cities are falling. And you are sent out with a team of stills photographers to go and document what's happening in the cities, come back to the base, and get those photos printed in the paper. And so
The world, everyone's died, but print journalism, that survived.
it'll be the last thing to go. It'll be cockroaches and Murdoch.
Same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So you all you have your home base here up on the top floor of a skyscraper is your base of operations. You all get given a basic camera. You got 10 photos and each, and you go out into the field and start to document the happenings on the street, which there's still survivors down there. There's a bunch of different types of aliens. And the point is to get the best photos. Just jump like halfway through this, Josh. The point is to get the best photos out in the field of the aliens moving around. And you get point multipliers based on catching multiple aliens in the same shots, journalists, them in action, and then you come back to base, get them printed, and a paper will get released. Mm-hmm. That's how the game is broken out into chapters. There's 12 chapters, and you need to get X amount of points to finish a chapter. So between the four of you, in the first round, you need to get maybe 2,000 points, which you should accomplish in 1 or 2 runs, and you get 3 runs per chapter. So out you go. You're getting hunted by aliens trying to take photos. Limbs are getting torn off. It's all proximity chat, so you're trying to stay close and take photos with each other. You're like, there's this monster over here. There's landmines around because the military's already passed through and kind of tried to do their thing. That's I
can hear the scream.
It ran away when you got the camera out.
Yeah.
Like, sir, can I interview you?
While this is going on. Unparalleled. And so, if you die, you drop your camera, so the survivors try and pick up your camera to take it back because those photos can still get developed.
Oh, cool.
And then the upgrades, the way that the progression works for your characters.
Oh, maybe.
The way the progression works for characters is that you can buy different cameras, so you'll have fewer shots but better multipliers. One with a better zoom lens, one with a big flash on it, so you get everything well lit when you take a photo, or brightly lit when you take a photo.
Is that just like between runs? Or?
You get cash by finishing a round, and then you can choose to spend it on the kinds of things that you want to take into the field. But you can lose those if you die out in the field carrying them and don't recover them. So things like better cameras, items that'll give you more health, items that'll give you more stamina, items that'll allow you to carry more equipment and gear, traps, different torches, all that kind of stuff that you'd expect from a Lethal Company style game. But the cameras and the photographs here are what really sing. And that talks to Content Warning, the at least partially Australian game that came out last year, which was about going down and making a 90-second video in the depths of a monster spawn.
Yeah.
And at the end of a run of that, you would watch your 90-second video back, upload it to YouTube and try and get views. Here, it's, you get points and then you go back to base and you look at the top 5 rated photos from the trip. So everyone gets to stand around and enjoy what happened on that run. And, because you're trying to get good shots, you're trying to bait interesting things. I mean, you're in the streets with basically Godzilla
so
at points as well, who you can't do anything about.
Cloverfield Snap.
Exactly. It's just a whole lot of fun, and I think photo modes in games are becoming more and more common, and people are really enjoying that. And to be able to do that in a live action photo mode setting is a fun concept for people. So it's a $10 game that is instant fun.
Cool.
From the moment you jump in, you're like, all right, I see what's happening and am ready to go out. And
Am I the only one who still finds it kind of magical when a game like this or Content Warning is like, now let's look at photos someone else took in a game? I'm like, game games
How?
can't do that. Or
Yeah.
like in content warning when we'd watch the video of all our perspectives stitched together, I was like, games can be amazing, but I look at that and I'm like, what black magic have they used that
Yeah.
can go,
Yeah.
oh, we can stitch the... Yeah, it's wild.
Well, like content warning, you could save those videos at the end. In this, you can save any of the photos. They're just
Perfect.
JPEGs, right?
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
of course.
they're saving to your desktop as you go, basically.
Right. Okay.
Sick.
And they're just displaying them here on screen.
Good
out
to
of 10
promote
files.
your game through socials, being like, posting your
100%,
Wordle, post your...
right? Like, you don't think to take a screenshot in every game that you play, but this game is about getting good photos that then you'll want to share on social media and go, oh, I just played this game with these people. Here's the selfie we took
Right.
at the
Yeah.
end in Times Square, or their approximation of Times Square while Godzilla's charging through the background.
Cool. Is there a way to play multiplayer if you don't have friends to play with?
There
Are there
is
public lobbies?
there are public servers. It's only up to 4 players, so you can see if a server is in your region, or you can go global, and you can see how full the server is. So
Cool.
you can join those, or you can have a private server and put a password on everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm really waiting for a game like this, but in like VR. I feel like this would be perfect. Like you've got a little camera, you're running
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so sick.
That's a great point. I fucking hate VR. So I'm not waiting
Fair
for that
enough.
version of
That's
this,
the thing.
but this would work really well in
Yeah.
there for sure.
Yeah.
I think
totally.
VR is it just makes you feel too sick. Like,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
people who
fair
don't
enough.
get that sick from it, it only takes a matter of time before you start to feel a bit queasy.
Sure,
Especially running around like that, you know.
The polish in this versus something like Lethal Company, which again was a great game, but was simple in its design and what it was going for. Like I love that they've gone all out and they've created an apocalyptic city and everything like that. I don't want to look for negative, but like, is there a little bit of charm lost?
There are
in...
no negatives.
Well, there was something about the video, like watching that stitched together at the end was so random. Like this, putting more game in it is that has helped it be stand apart and feel like a different experience that's not too close to what already exists, I guess, is my question.
Look, I enjoy. I put them all on the same rung of fun.
Different flavours,
Lethal
basically.
Company, Content Warning, this.
Yeah.
I think they're all fantastic experiences. What's the submarine game that we've been playing? Someone in chat will remember. But there's a submarine version, the same kind of thing.
Right.
Any kind of spin on.
Oh, wait, I'm mixing up Lethal Company with Content.
Content Warning is the
Content
video
Warning,
one.
sorry, thank
Yep.
you, yes.
Yeah, I mean, Content Warning had its own design. I think Content Warning actually probably had a more impressive visual design than this. This feels more basic to me, but there's better lighting and stuff for
Yeah.
sure. But it's the visual style of Content Warning was so cool.
That was my comparison, sorry. What I was
Yeah.
trying to make that felt a bit random in its like what they created the game out of, whereas here, you're a journalist, there's a city, there's a goal, there's that kind of stuff. Like,
Totally. The conceit here is way clearer.
yeah.
You understand that you're doing a job, and you understand the function of the thing, and you understand the setting that you're in. Here's a face hugger just jumped on stage. I got attacked
Oh
by
my
that fucking thing.
god. Good photo though. Great photo.
Oh
my God.
It's just chaos. I think this is actually Reese's perspective. Reese's footage. Yeah, that's me bleeding out. Cool. Yeah, it's
Murky Divers was the one you were
Murky
thinking of.
Divers is what I was like.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nacro. Yeah, they're all brilliant, but I think people jumping into this one would have a clearer understanding of what they're setting out to do, even more than Lethal Company, which was kind of the
Yes,
one that set
yeah.
the precedent that we're experiencing now. Lethal Company was just a bit obscure as a conceit, or just like, why am I going into this building and like picking up just junk?
Yeah.
Right.
That would
yeah.
you just go and pick up junk and then take it to a monster, and the monster would exchange the junk for cash. And then this is like, oh, I understand the human element of this, so
Yeah.
the rest of
Yeah.
it can be weird.
Yep.
Because I understand the basics.
I'd love to see them develop more, and not when I say them, just develop the genre into slightly more, curated experiences, because I think then they can sit hand in hand. Well, alongside.
What do you mean curated experience though?
So the fact that this one is a narrative in an apocalyptic world, and you're a journalist.
There's
versus,
no narrative.
Okay, look, hang on. Let me roll it back from the fact that
Yeah.
Content Warning is you are silly faces in a family home. You get in a diving bell, and you go to a scratchy
true.
black and white hospital full of crab people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're making content.
Yeah, I guess the absurdity
doing it for the
of it
vibe.
is like part of the charm.
Of
Yeah,
course. And
yeah.
I'm saying I love that exists, and then something like this, which is like,
sure.
oh, what if you're doing one where you're all, I can't come up with an idea. You're
Yeah.
playing a World War One, you're a World War One correspondent running
Yeah.
around the trenches, but you're trying to like interview the
Interview
soldiers. Or
soldiers.
like, just creating like, I love that sort of, it's some semi-passive interaction in these environments that we're so used to being typically gaming environments. I just think it's so clever. And then you add that crazy that you can put photos in games. now. And I'm just like, imagine, doing audio recordings on an old little thing to like
Yeah.
soldiers or something.
Yeah, but you've got reel to reel, and you've only got like 12 minutes of tape.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're like,
I feel like you can never have too many of these games because
Totally.
like you get tired of one and now you've got like more options to jump to
Yeah.
rather than having to just, like,
that is
stick to
100% it. I think like because I was worried when you're saying it needs to be deeper. I was like, they shouldn't be challenging games to enter.
Yeah.
You should just be able to go, why don't we check this out, jump in and play for 4 hours one night and be like, let's never play that again. But we had the best 4
And
hours.
you don't want to have to look at like some massive progression tree and be like, well, we got to play like 20 hours of this to finish
Yeah,
it. You know?
yeah.
Or
Also,
just be like a
confusion
jump.
over proxy chat is just gold. Hearing
Proxy
someone,
chat should be in like every multiplayer game.
what the
Absolutely.
hell am I meant to be doing?
Yeah.
It's like that level of.
It's just
yeah.
when you hear,